Diogenes, 412 BC, 323 BC, also known as Diogenes of Sinope, was a Greek philosopher, also called the Cynic, chiefly because he founded the Cynic philosophy, which is popularly known as Cynicism. As quoted by Diogenes Laërtius in Lives of Eminent Philosophers, once he lit a lamp in broad daylight and said, as he went about, "I am looking for a human." Thereafter, he went more often through the highways and byways of the city at noontide with a lit lantern in quest of a man himself not to be laughed at or despised. He was born in Sinope, in Pontus, came to Athens, was attracted to Antisthenes and became a disciple, and a sansculot of the first water. Diogenes dressed himself in the coarsest, lived on the plainest, slept in the porches of the temples, and finally took up his dwelling in a tub. He stood on his naked manhood. He would not have anything to do with what did not contribute to its enhancement. He despised every one who sought satisfaction in anything else. One day, as Diogenes Laërtius in Lives of Eminent Philosophers quoted, observing a child drinking out of his hands, he cast away the cup from his wallet with the words, "A child has beaten me in plainness of living." Visiting Corinth, he was accosted by Alexander the Great. "I am Alexander," said the king, and, "I am Diogenes," was the prompt reply. "Can I do anything to serve you?" continued the king. "Yes, stand out of the sunlight," rejoined the cynic, upon which Alexander turned away saying, "If I were not Alexander, I would be Diogenes." D'Alembert declared Diogenes the greatest man of antiquity, only that he wanted decency. "Great truly," says Carlyle, but adds with a much more serious drawback than that. See Sartor Resartus, BK.3.ch.1. Wisdom, and quotes, "The foundation of every state is the education of its youth." Quoted by Diogenes Laërtius in Lives of Eminent Philosophers. "If you are to be kept right, you must possess either good friends or red-hot enemies. The one will warn you, the other will expose you." Quoted by Plutarch in Moralia. "Everything belongs to the gods. The wise are friends of the gods. Friends hold all things in common, ergo, everything belongs to the wise." Quoted by Diogenes Laërtius in Lives of Eminent Philosophers. "It is not that I am mad, it is only that my head is different from yours." Quoted by Stobaeus. "Boasting, like gilded armor, is very different inside from outside." Quoted by Stobaeus. "Virtue cannot dwell with wealth either in a city or in a house." Quoted by Stobaeus. "Poverty is a virtue which one can teach oneself." Quoted by Stobaeus. "Self-taught poverty is a help toward philosophy, for the things which philosophy attempts to teach by reasoning, poverty forces us to practice." Quoted by Stobaeus. "It is the privilege of the gods to want nothing, and of godlike men to want little. It takes a wise man to discover a wise man. Blushing is the color of virtue. The art of being a slave is to rule one's master. I am Diogenes the dog. I nuzzle the kind, bark at the greedy and bite scoundrels. He has the most who is most content with the least. It is sufficient abuse for him that he insulted me, but I did not. Man is the most intelligent of the animals, and the most silly. We have 2 ears and 1 tongue so that we would listen more and talk less. I do not know whether there are gods, but there ought to be.